It's time to screw the formalities, bring in the ubi, get ready for a bite-sized vegan Q&A. And this time, it's personal. Hi, it's Emily and Ubi from Bite Size Vegan, and welcome to a personal Q&A. So I'm gonna just get right to it because there's a lot of questions, and I know I'm not gonna reach everybody, so I'm gonna do my best. This actually ended up being long anyways, so I've decided to split this into 2 videos with the second half airing next Friday, so stay tuned for even more personal stuff. And our faces look awesome in this freeze frame. Some of the basic questions I got were my age. I've answered this before, but it's probably changed. I'm 31 years old. My height, since I am a bite-sized vegan, I am 5 foot 1 inch, sometimes 1.5. Very exciting. As far as my vegan story, why and when I went vegan, I've talked about this in several videos. I'm going to link to one of them at least up there. There will be links down below to the others, so you can check those out. And I also think I'm going to have a new video coming out that's more creative on that topic, so stay tuned. Okay, so getting to some of the serious ones. Do I want children? I don't. I don't want kids. I'm not going to have kids for sure. I've never had the desire to birth children. People sometimes think that means I don't like kids. That is absolutely not true. I love kids, and I make videos for kids because I think kids are phenomenal people and are very underestimated in their abilities. But I'm personally not going to have children. If I ever were to have children, it would be through adoption. That kind of links to one question. Do I have siblings? I have one sister. She's older. She's almost 2 years older. But I grew up with a lot of foster brothers and sisters. So throughout my childhood, there were probably about 30 kids in and out of my house, and they would stay with us while their parents were either going through parenting school because they were abusive or unfit, or they were awaiting adoption, and so they would live with us. And so I learned how to feed preemie babies when I was a kid, and we had we had kids from all different areas, backgrounds, from really heartbreaking stories, but it was also really, they were my family. As soon as they were in our home, they were our family, and we get to still keep in touch with a couple of them. 2 of them in particular. I have 2 little brothers that are actually, they're full grown now, which is crazy. One of them is married and has a baby, which is insane. But yeah, so that's kind of how I grew up with a lot of different brothers and sisters. Miss Nectarina asked, how was your childhood? What is your favorite memory from it? A couple of you actually asked how my childhood was. It was not very good. As far as my favorite memory, this doesn't look too good. Oh, okay, I thought of one. I went to nature camp in North Carolina, and we basically lived out in the huts and then in the woods for weeks, and I loved that. So that's a good childhood memory. There you go. Took me a second. Okay, so what do I do for fun or in my free time? At this point, I don't have free time. I work all day, every day on Bite Size Vegan. I've probably gotten to the point now of working over 100 hours a week. Most of the time, probably all of the time, honestly, if I'm going to be honest. For some videos, I work over 100 hours in like 5 days, so. So right now, that's what I do for fun, is this. That actually kind of links to a question that Looney V asked. That if you've been banging out videos nonstop for a very long time, and I guess that's limiting your free time a bit, do you plan to keep going, or do you have a plan to sort of dilute the workload you end up with every week? It's a good question. I really don't know at this point. Something eventually is going to have to change because I literally have time for nothing but this. Like, I've been meaning to put out e-courses for about a year, and my video production schedule is so tight that I don't even have the time for that. She also asked something a couple of you guys asked actually, is would I consider releasing a book in the future? Absolutely. I've always wanted to write and be published. And I have, I have written, and I have theses that have been published from, my academic time. But I've always wanted to write books. Like, I'd love to write a memoir. There's so many topics I'd love to write on, obviously on veganism as well. It's just finding the time. And right now I don't have the time. And what that would have to be would be me cutting back on the channel at some point, which I don't like to do because I want to keep creating free content for everybody. Eventually I'll have to figure something out, or get to a point where I can hire help to some degree, but I still don't know how that would work because I need to make the videos. Okay, I got a couple questions about my heritage because in one video I said that I don't identify as white, and specifically, so my background is a bit of a mutt, as many Americans tend to be. My mother's side is Cajun, so they're French and Cherokee Indian. So she's from Slidell, Louisiana, right outside New Orleans. So she grew up, going to school with no shoes on in the bayou, those kind of things. Very, very, very poor. My father's side is hillbilly, but originally from, we think, like Irish and English, probably a mixture of Irish and English, but basically hillbilly by the time he got here. So my mother and my sister have kind of the olive skin tone of the Cherokee side, and my sister got the Cherokee skin tone and the Irish features. I got the Cherokee features and the Irish skin, so I'm like blindingly white. But I was asked, given my heritage, do people treat me differently around Thanksgiving, or treat Thanksgiving differently because of that and because of me being vegan? Not really, no. Because most people don't really know my heritage, because you can't really tell by looking at me. A lot of people think I'm Eastern European though, so that happens. Okay, so Glitter Geese asked a number of things, but one was, are you as sarcastic in real life as you are in some of your videos? I'm actually more sarcastic in real life than I am in my videos. And I cuss a lot. Oceans4 asked, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why, excluding making people vegan? So, if my superpower wasn't making people vegan, which I tried, that video, I would probably, there's so many cool superpowers, but I would probably want to be able to be invisible, because then I could get into factory farms, get into animal testing facilities, and not only document what's going on, but I could get the animals out of there without being detected. And it would just look like they were floating away, which would be pretty hilarious. That would be a great superpower, because I could do direct action all over the place and successfully, because one of the greatest risks, obviously, of direct action is arrest, which is not to say that that's like worrying for me, but the problem with it is then you can't be effective when you're in prison. So being invisible would be, I'd go for that. And I'd go liberate the crap out of animals. I just want to thank each and every one of you for watching, for supporting me, for liking, commenting, subscribing, any of those things to help me get the vegan message out to the best of my abilities. And I really want to thank my patrons over on Patreon who are making it possible for me to continue this work. Because since I do work over 100 hours a week, I have no ability to do anything else for income. So you guys literally make this possible. If you liked the video, do give it a like. If you're not subscribed, I don't know why you watched this, because you have no idea who I am, but I would love for you to subscribe if you want to get to know me more and actually get more education about veganism. I don't talk about my business very much. Stay tuned to the channel for more Q&As and other helpful things. Now go live vegan, and I'll see you soon. You guys are awesome. I love each and every one of you. Not in a creepy way. Maybe a little bit creepy.